Hey guys, what is going on? My name is NoJ456 and tomorrow is the invasion pack for Call of Duty Ghost, and with that comes all of the Extinction stuff that I'm very excited about. The first thing up is the Awakening Extinction pack that I wanted to talk about. We're going to be talking about all the stuff that was in the gameplay trailer, all the stuff broken down and showing you everything that was very hidden just for a couple frames or something like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. The first thing here that I just wanted to briefly mention is the thing that we were seeing on the little image is the gargoyle. Now we know that from the achievements list that was leaked, and I also did another video on my channel about all the different storyline information that we got from the title screens. You can check that out in the description, making a couple references to the alien mind control, stuff like that later in this video. So let's go ahead and jump on to the next part of the trailer. As you can see, the first little exposition is a room that we're going to be fighting in. Now we know it's going to be a room we're fighting in because we see aliens in the trailer, we see our people in the trailer, everyone is fighting in one of these areas, and we can see that it's going to be very important. There's some sort of middle obelisk in the room. Maybe this is one of the pathways that we take along to the final chamber, which you're going to see later in this trailer, and some information about that, which we actually are going to be able to fight in. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But anyway, let's play a little bit farther. As you can see here, here's a little exposition, and here we have the first gargoyle. And then this one is red. You're going to see a yellow one here later in the trailer. So we're not really sure what the yellow one does. We have some sort of idea, but this one is just completely red. It's rising out of the smoke. It does look very terrifying, and I definitely cannot wait to have some sort of flying creature going on in Extinction. So here we go. On to the next thing we have. Excuse me here, Samantha Cross walking slowly toward David Archer. Now David Archer is very helpless, it seems, and I don't think he's about to be killed in the trailer because that would be kind of like, wow, major storyline moment that you don't want to spoil here. But basically he says Dr. Cross, and she says not anymore. So she is very like in control. She is being controlled by the ancestors, I believe. She is not this kind of person in real life. However, would the ancestors take over her mind, as you saw in my my previous video on Extinction? Basically, she is no longer Samantha Cross at all, and she kind of mentions that in that video. And the reason I paused it on this frame and not the one where she's swinging over his head is because, as you can see in the background, the cryptids are all over the place. They are going, and they're pretty much protecting her, and don't really care what she's about to do because she's one of them, basically. So here we play a little bit farther. We hear him say, Dr. Cross, she goes, not anymore. Wha-bam, she's swinging her knife, and she's basically going to take him out. And she does look very frightening in that image. And anyway, let's play a little bit farther. So it says, discover the truth. We get a couple little shots here. Nothing too important, nothing worth pausing on, just some fighting scenes. But this one right here is the actual first look at the kind of greenish, yellowish gargoyle, along with an obelisk in the background. So basically, this gargoyle, I believe this is what it's going to do whenever it's attacking. It's going to fly around when it's red, and whenever it dive bombs at you, it's going to turn into this greenish kind of color, and you'll see in just a second what that looks like. As you can see, he shoots it and it just completely blows up. This is not just a small explosion, this is a pretty big one. So I have a feeling it's going to be very easy to kill, but it's just going to have like a huge explosion whenever you kill it, much like a seeker or something like that. So let's play a little bit farther. Here we have our image of the drill decoding one of the obelisks. So we're not going to be drilling through everything with the drill. It's going to have some other uses, and one of those uses is going to be decoding the obelisk. We saw that in the video that I talked about yesterday. Basically, the drill decodes the obelisk. Now that's one of its uses. So anyway, it's very cool. Let's play a little bit farther. So here we have it. We have a little obelisk here being, I don't know what it is, activated, decoded. This is the same main room that we saw at the beginning of the trailer, but it looks very interesting with the hieroglyphics coming up. Something very ancient, very Extinction. Get it there. But anyway, that is very interesting. We're not really sure what is causing this thing to kind of be decoding itself, but let's play a little bit farther. We see a rhino jumping out of the ground, and right when it flashes to this scene, we see the ancestors' chambers. Now we see a whole bunch of the ancestors sitting in their chamber right here, and it looks like there's some sort of explosion. This does look like a cutscene or something like that, but we'll see in just a second that it's actually not. It's a playable area. But anyway, it looks very interesting that there's lots and lots of ancestors. I can count more than 10 on the screen. It's kind of hard to see because the image quality isn't the greatest, just because it's only one freeze frame before the entire thing explodes, which you're going to see right here, explodes out. And here you can see in the background are two of those, or actually like I think that's like 4 or 5 of those little chambers in the background. So we see our players fighting, and we see those Extinction pods in the background with the ancestors holding them. So this is going to be a playable area. It's not just going to be a cutscene where we explode it. So maybe the ending cutscene is having to do with exploding it. Not really sure, but we see that right there. So I just wanted to pause it on one last frame right here. This is the gargoyle swooping down. However, he is not yellow. I talked about earlier how it might be he attacks when he's yellow. Maybe this is just part of the cutscene or something. I have a feeling it's going to be part of the opening cutscene. The gargoyle swoops in and picks up the soldier, kind of of like in Nightfall when the big scorpion alien just kind of comes down and stabs the guy and takes him away. I have a feeling it's going to be like the opening cutscene or something like that, because it doesn't really make sense to have a gargoyle grab a character and fly away in the actual Extinction game, because obviously it can be revived. But it's very, very cool. Maybe they just did it for this trailer, but I'm very, very excited for Extinction. That is going to about wrap up everything that we saw in this trailer. I'm very, very excited, and let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are if you were excited for this DLC, because I think this is going to be the best DLC so far, along with the multiplayer maps. The multiplayer maps look very, very good. Very excited for Favela, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. My name is NoJ456, and I'll see you in the next video.